What is going on, people? Welcome back to Talking Chelsea Blues. Welcome back to another video. I hope you are all doing well today. This is your match preview for Chelsea versus Crystal Palace in the Premier League. It's our first game of the season. But before we get into it, I want to ask you kindly to make sure you subscribe, smash that like button. Let's get 10 likes on this video. Leave a comment on your thoughts of what's going to happen tomorrow, your predictions and your lineup, whatever you want to comment, put it in the comments. And yeah, let's just get into this video. So, this is your match preview for Chelsea versus Crystal Palace. So, what do I expect tomorrow? I expect a tough game, as per usual. Crystal Palace, not an easy team to play against. They're a type of team that like to just sit back, defend, hit you on the counter. They've got some very good players, a very good attacking outlet in Eze and Jean-Philippe Mateta. They've got some other players as well, Ismail Assar. So plenty to think about, plenty to focus on. They've got a good defence as well. Mark Guehi, for as long as he's there, he's probably going to be leaving soon. Lacroix, the other defender as well, he's fantastic. You know, so they've got some very good players. They've got some very good attacking outlets and defensive players. They've got Alan Waterman in midfield as well, who is very good. So we do need to be careful. We do need to keep expectations to a decent assumption, and to say that this is the first game of the season, so we've got to expect Crystal Palace to come put up a fight, and they will. They play with that back three or back five system with the wing backs, so they'll sit deep, they'll try and counter attack, and go from there. In terms of what we can do though, what can we do to nullify that? Well, we can try and keep the ball, try and keep possession, keep Eze and Jean-Philippe Mateta away from our goal, because they will score if they get the ball at the right time in the right place. So we need to be able to nullify those attacking outlets of Crystal Palace by nullifying them, by keeping the ball, moving it quickly in between the lines, not staying compact when Palace do get the chance to counter. And we've got to be clinical. We've got to be clinical with our chances. Last season, we weren't clinical enough. And that is down to a few things. We didn't have a striker that could finish chances, a.k.a. Jackson. So it's like this. We finish our chances, we keep the ball, we stop Palace's attacks when they happen, and we can win this game. It's just a case of how do we do that? What is the best way to approach it? There's plenty of options. We've got a big squad. We've got enough players in there that if we need to change things up, we can. If we want to change formation, we can. The system that Enzo Maresca has put out recently is working. So let's go with it again. But he did talk about what he needs. A defender. A centre-back. More importantly, one centre-back that could play in the middle of the back three. Because he has a way of doing things, and that centre back is the most important part of that defence. It's the distribution that you need. You need someone who can distribute. You need someone who can be confident on and off the ball, being able to drop deep into as a defender. Being able to head the ball, a lot of different factors go into that centre-back position. I don't know too much about that position myself. I like Enzo Maresca's system, and if he needs a centre-back a type of centre-back to play that system, then give him what he needs, because at the end of the day, if Maresca can play his system and it works, then we must continue with that. In terms of everything else, in terms of injuries, the only issues we have are Badiashile and Romeo Lavia. They will not be featuring tomorrow, I don't think. But Maresca will field a good team tomorrow. And what will that team look like? We're going to get into it in a minute. But I just hope that we can start as we mean to go on tomorrow and get 3 points on the table and start to build. Because we've got West Ham next week, and then we've got Fulham and Brentford in the weeks after. Now, talking about our league run, it's an easy start to the season. Well, I wouldn't say, actually, no, I wouldn't say easy. I would not say easy. I would say it's more favourable for us. We haven't had the best opening games the last few seasons. We had Liverpool when we had Pochettino, and we had Manchester City when we started with Maresca last season. Not easy games to start with. So now we've got Crystal Palace, which is, marginally easier. We've got then West Ham, Fulham and Brentford. That's 4 games that you could say, okay, we can take at least, maximum points, maybe if not 3 wins and a draw. I would take that. But we need to be straight on it from the outset. We can't just muck around and see if things work and try them out. It's not worth doing. It's just go with what we know. And what do we know about this system? Well, we know it's a very fluid, possession-based system. We know Maresca likes to get a full back inverted. We know he likes to get his wingers high and wide. We know his midfielders are very good on the ball. So what do we do tomorrow? How do we line up? Well, I've built a team that I think is more than capable of beating Crystal Palace tomorrow. So let's get into it now, and I'll give you my thoughts. Okay, so here it is. This is the lineup I have put together that I think is more than capable of beating Crystal Palace tomorrow. Robert Sanchez in goal, our number 1 goalkeeper. He is our number 1 goalkeeper. I don't think it's wise to put Jorgensen and say he's our number 1 goalkeeper. I think Maresca clearly knows that Sanchez is our number 1 between those two. And then we go into a back 4. Reece James, Tosin Adarabioyo, Trevor Chalobah, Marc Cucurella. Marc Cucurella, I don't really want to see him going too much into midfield tomorrow. I don't want to see that. I want to see him operating as almost like a wing-back. And then having Chalobah, Tosin Adarabioyo and Reece James as the acting 3 central defenders, with Tosin making up that centre-back position. As Maresca has said, he's the only one that can play in that position for his system. Now, Reece James at right centre-back or right back, it gives him less work to do, less running. It's easier on his legs. So, if he can invert into midfield at times, if Cucurella wants to slot back, then do so. That's what I like to see, is that we've got fluidity in this squad that we can do that. Cucurella can play as a left centre-back. Chalobah can't play as a centre-back, but at times it can happen. So I would like to see that, and Reece James then inverting into the midfield to add numbers and a numerical advantage into that midfield situation. Talking of the midfield situation, we've got the 2 of Moises Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez. Enzo Fernandez coming higher up when either Cucurella or Reece James will invert to act as an extra 10 next to Cole Palmer. Moises Caicedo needs to be on it tomorrow, because once Crystal Palace attack, they attack with pace and vigour. So I'm hoping Caicedo can win the ball in the midfield tomorrow and just be his normal self, carry the ball when it needs to be carried, and drop deep when he needs to. As you see, Cole Palmer in the number 10. On the right though, Pedro Neto. I want to see him acting like a right winger / right wing back, because he can help Reece James then, and it helps us with the numerical overload with the back 5 that Crystal Palace like to use to attack with the wing backs. So Pedro Neto acting as a wing back / right winger is an option for us to use tomorrow. On the left hand side, Jamie Gittins. Jamie Gittins, I want to see him play tomorrow. I want to see how he gets on. You could argue that you put Pedro Neto on the left and Esteval on the right. I would like to see Esteval come off the bench tomorrow. I think it's too early to throw him straight into a Premier League game and hope that he's going to do well. He needs time to bed in, and he's still young, he's still raw. So maybe half an hour off the bench tomorrow will be ideal for Willian Esteval. Cole Palmer in the number 10 is not really a number 10. He's more of a free role to do whatever the hell he wants. And that's good for Cole Palmer, because if you can give Cole Palmer the free role, he'll do his magic. He'll find space in the pockets. He will find that time to get the ball and distribute it to the attackers, i.e. Gittins and Pedro Neto, and Joao Pedro, who I have up top. Now, Joao Pedro up top, I was going to go with Liam Delap and have Joao Pedro on the left. You could even argue that. But I want to see Joao Pedro start as the striker. He's been banging in goals recently for us, so I think it's an opportunity for him to go into this and try and get an early start to the season with some goals. I would like to see him score a few tomorrow, maybe 2, but we'll see. But guys, that is my lineup. Let me know your thoughts on my lineup. Let me know what your lineups would be in the comments, and let's go now and I'll give you my prediction. Okay, so in terms of a prediction, I'm going to be very real with you and very honest with you. It's going to be a tough game tomorrow. I don't see us scoring a hatful. Crystal Palace aren't going to make this easy. So, I'm going to say Chelsea 3, Crystal Palace 1. I'm going to say Joao Pedro to score 2. And I'm going to say Liam Delap comes on and scores in the second half. But that is my thoughts. Let me know, guys, know in the comments what you think about my lineup, what you think about my prediction. Let me know your lineups and predictions in the comments as well. I'd love to hear from you guys. As I said, let's get 10 likes on this video. And share the channel out as much as possible, guys. Turn that notification bell icon on to be notified of when I upload and when I go live. Also, guys, just quickly, I will be live tomorrow twice. I will be live at 1:45 PM for Chelsea versus Crystal Palace, the watch-along. And then I will be live at 4:15 for Manchester United versus Arsenal watch-along. Make sure you're there, guys. And I will see you tomorrow. Take care.